What's up, guys? Welcome to DrawSchool episode 15. In this episode, I'm going to show you guys how to take your drawings and color them in Photoshop fast and easy. Now, there's plenty of ways to do this, but I have a way that's super fast and super simple, and you can get your drawings looking super awesome really quick. All right, so run my intro. Wait. Before I do that, I gotta let you guys know that I'm giving away a little sketchbook, so make sure you watch this video to the end to find out if you won. Alright? Now you can run my intro. Alright guys, what's up? Let's get right into it. Okay, so this right here, this is an illustration I did for a freelance project of mine, and it was for some t-shirts and stuff, so I figured I'd use this for this lesson on how to color easy in Photoshop. Now, this is probably one of the easiest ways to color in Photoshop because there's not that many steps. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to select this area here, and I am going to clip out the rest of it, just because I don't need that much to teach you guys this. Okay, so first step, I am going to use the Lasso tool to select the whole drawing first, or go around the edges of the drawing so I can get one color in for everything. Alright, so I'm gonna do that, and then I will fast forward. Alright, make sure that you guys are selecting this as best as possible with the Lasso tool. Cool. Now that I am done, the next step I'm going to do is I am going to fill this with a color. Like, it's probably going to be like the most common color that I use for everything. So I'm going to choose this blue here, this bluish grayish color. I'm going to hit Alt Fill or Option Fill on the Mac. You see, so that is my base color there now. Now notice how I have my layers here. I have my flat colors, I have my shadows, and I have my highlight layers. Okay, we're gonna use those layers in the future. Alright, so right now, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use the Lasso tool still. I'm gonna go ahead and select different areas within the face of this chimpanzee so that we can make the flat colors in the flat colors layer, so then later we can add the shadows and the highlights. Okay, so I'll show you guys a little bit of this part right here as I go along this space right here and down in the chin area and around, and then I let it go, so I have to pick it up again like this and around that cheek like that. Boom, there we go. Face is selected. I think I'm gonna make his chest area the same color, so let's select around here, around the clavicles. We're gonna go up here, around his fingers, down to the opening of his hoodie, close it up, and boom. Okay, so this all will be one color. Let me see if there's anything else. Fingers, no. Hands, nothing, that's it. Okay, so let's go with a lighter color. So I'm going to slide it up on the graph. I'm also going to shift it over to a lighter blue, and again we fill it so that we have that color. Alright, so what should I do next? Maybe the mouth. I'm going to do a selection here again, maybe around the teeth, just like that. Awesome. And let's do the teeth like a yellowish green. So nice analogous colors. And then let's do the gums. Maybe something that stands out a little bit more, like a purple color maybe. purplish gums. Now, tips for the lasso tools, guys. When you select the lasso tool, you can hold down the Alt button and it will turn into the magnetic lasso tool, which then you can pick up and press wherever you want. If you hold Shift, you can add to your selection. If you hold Alt or Option, you can delete from that selection. All right, so here I'm gonna do the glasses real quick. And I think I am going to make them a sort of fuchsia color because that'll really bounce from that blue color. They're complementary colors, so maybe this is a good time to talk about complementary colors. Okay, so real quick, guys, let's look at this chart. Now, there's a whole class that you take for a whole semester in art school about color theory, so I'm gonna try to shrink that into like 30 seconds to a minute of teaching. All right, so hue is the pure color, tint is hue plus white, tone is hue plus white and black, and a shade is hue plus black. Now, I never really use tint. I always say tone if you're adding white or black. So there's hues, then there's tints of a color, and then there's shade of a color. All right, and that's your basic color wheel. Now, let's look at another color wheel. Now, these color wheels right here are what I'm talking about as far as the color schemes that I'm using. All right, so these color schemes. Now, right now for the gorilla, I am using an analogous color scheme. As you see, like blue, blue-green, green, purples, they're all kind of close in the same proximity or closeness on the chart, which makes them analogous. Now, when I said I'm gonna make the glasses a complementary color, if you look over here at this chart on the left right here, you see where blue is, and then I'm gonna make it like a color up there by the red and that violet-y, like magenta-ish color. So those are pretty much complementary colors there. Now, all these color schemes here, they are great charts to use if you want to make some good color schemes for your drawings. All right. Whew. All right, hopefully I explained that well. We might have to do more videos on that in the future. Okay, guys, so now explaining color schemes, what I'm going to do is I'm going to continue to add flat colors on the flat colors layer in Photoshop. I'm gonna go ahead and fast forward through this process, and then we can talk about the colors I selected and why. Okay, guys, so I finished selecting all of the colors. Now, see, what I did is I made the chimpanzees or gorillas skin a bluish tones, and then I made his outfit like a maroon, purplish. Now, those two, they're really close to being analogous colors because they play well together, but then also they kind of bounce on each other, like they're almost complementary. So they have good contrast between the colors, and it'll make either the face pop or the clothes pop. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're gonna see one or the other, but that's why I specifically put the sunglasses in that pink color, because that's the one spot that you're gonna want to look at first, because it's bouncing really hard off that blue because they are such complementary colors. Okay, so now that I have it, it's time for some shadows. Now, I have a shadows layer here, and what I do is I set the shadow layer to multiply. Once you set the shadow layer to multiply, that color is gonna sit on top. Now, I use a color around this section in the color graph, and I like to make it purple because when you go outside and you look at your shadow from the sun, it's usually like a purplish color. So now we have to select where the light is coming from. Now that we have our shadow color selected, we can start making the shadow areas in our drawing. So what I'm doing is I'm using the lasso tool again. You can use the brush tool, you can paint it in, but this is the way I like to do it just because I've been doing it and I feel like it's faster. So you take the lasso tool and you start selecting areas that are gonna create a shadow on the face. Alright, so now I'm selecting this area on his brow. So I'm going with his wrinkles that are probably in shadow, going up like this, going around, coming back to close off the lasso. And I'm gonna basically be doing this for everything. I'm gonna be deciding where the light is gonna hit and what areas are gonna be in shadow. And then when I'm done selecting, I will fill it with the color in the shadows layer, which is set to multiply, and you will see what that looks like. Now, you can go and do it as you go, like select an area, fill it, select an area, fill it. But since I'm so used to doing this, I kind of already know where things are gonna fall. But maybe when you're starting off, you can go ahead, select the area and fill it. I'm gonna fast forward this part until I fill the area with my shadow color. And hopefully this is making sense, you guys. Go ahead and leave me some comments and let me know if this is helpful. Okay, so I have selected all of my shadow areas now, and it's time to fill them all in. Let's see what it's going to look like. And there it is. Let's get rid of the lasso tool ants, and there it is. You can kind of almost leave it just like that and be done if you're not a fan of highlights. But usually what I do is I turn the opacity down on the shadows layer to give you a softer shadow. And after you're done doing that, you can turn it on and off to see what it looks like, and I can decide to fix some shadows, add some shadows where I think there should be some shadows. So that's actually what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna add a few more shadows where I think I missed. I didn't even put any shadows on this hand. So let me go ahead and fast forward through that, and we can talk about highlights next. Okay guys, so I have fixed the shadows and added more shadows, and this is what we got. I think we're ready for highlights. So I have moved to the highlight layer, which I have set to normal for right now. What I will do is start selecting areas that will be hit directly by the light. So for instance, the nose is usually a section of your face that has a lot of highlights, and I'm gonna just do the top of these wrinkles, the top of the brow here, definitely the top of the brow here, top of the brow there, around his top lip here, and then there a bit. I'm just gonna go ahead and select where I think there should be some highlights. I'm gonna fast forward this part, and I'm gonna show you guys what it looks like after I fill it with a highlight color. Okay guys, so I have selected all of my highlight areas now. Let's deselect the lasso tool, and what I'm gonna do is I selected the brush and I set the highlight layer to overlay, and I selected a color that is lighter, like a light gray. I selected a light gray color to brush on top of my flat colors to make it a highlight. So I'm brushing highlights in here, brushing in highlights there, on the hand. Let me fast forward a bit. All right, and then here, I'm gonna select a lighter color even, and I'm gonna select some more areas, and I brush it on to make the highlights a little brighter. So now I am selecting even more areas within the highlights to make brighter. For instance, like a shiny nose spot, or shiny brow spot, or even the brush, or not the brush, but the fur on his hat. All right, let's do a couple super highlights here on his teeth, because teeth are gonna be very, very shiny as far as texture goes. So we'll add some very light highlights there. Alright, so let's address this cobra emblem here on his hat. Now this is going to be very shiny because it's like a brass color. So already has a couple highlight layers where I did the lasso tool and I brushed in on the overlay layer with lights, and then I lassoed some more highlight sections or selections. I brightened up the color and then I brushed them back on. So now we have this shiny surface, and you want to mess with different textures with different clothing or different furs or anything like that. But I think we're pretty finished up here. Let me see if there's anything else that I have to do. Okay, for a little added touch, let's go ahead and add a rim light. So I selected like a yellow for the sun, color for the sun, and let's just brush that in here along the side of his hat and on his fur. Down like this, and it might catch on his brow here like that, top of his brow. Definitely gonna shine on the emblem here, this snake emblem there. Maybe some more of these furs, tips around the nose. I'm thinking down here, maybe around the lip and the cheek area. Is that what that is? Down his fur here, his beard. Alright, what else? Let's go down this way, down his hoodie, down his arm. Well, you guys get it. Let me fast forward this part. Well, that was it, guys. Believe it or not, we are finished. You saw how fast that was? We did some flat colors. We selected everything one color. Then we started to go ahead and select different areas of the face and his glasses and his teeth and his ring and his hoodie and his hat. And we selected different colors for it. Then we had a shadows layer on top of it set to multiply, which we made lasso selections. Then we filled it all in and we had shadows for everything. No need to pick any colors or anything. And then we made a highlights layer, which we set to overlay. And then we colored in our selections that we did for highlights with our brush. And then we have flat colors, darks, and highlights. And that's all you really need to color your drawings. And here, let me show you guys something cool. So let me show you the drawing, how it was when I did it for the client, when I colored it for them. So check this out. This is what I actually turned in for the client. I had a whole different color scheme. He wanted blues and golds, and I actually did more of a chimpanzee actual color, but with like a purplish tint to it. And then I added some orange smoke, which is reflecting on him. And I will be teaching you stuff like this in the future, guys, so make sure that you subscribe and you're paying attention to all the videos that I post. And that was it, guys. Wasn't that awesome? Super simple, super fast, and super easy way to color your drawings in Photoshop. Now, if you like that, then next episode, I'm gonna be showing you guys how to color your drawings another way. And it's especially gonna be good for you guys who are maybe intimidated with color, but you are really good with black and white. All right, so stick around for that. And as always, please subscribe, like, comment, and share these videos, guys, so that we can all get better. All right, your friends can get better, you can get better, and even I get better when I'm teaching you things, because I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot about that. So on to the next thing. I am giving away an Illo sketchbook, and the winner is Adley Sketches. Adley Sketches. Please get a hold of me at contactdrawschool@gmail.com, and I will send you an Illo sketchbook. All right, so thank you guys for watching. I appreciate you, and I'll see you guys on the next one.